Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. So, guys, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome Rishabh Jain, who has recently cleared the RBI Grade B RBI Grade B examination for the year 2022. Congratulations, Rishabh, from the entire EduTap family.
Thank you
And
so much, sir.
has the feeling now been synced on? मतलब अब आप relax हो चुके हो, or is it still there's a starting मतलब कि एक होता है ना कि excitement? Is it still the excited way?
Sir, first of all, before answering your question, I want to say thanks to you and the whole EduTap team, because without you, it would not have been possible. Secondly, to answer your question, yes, it's an overwhelming feeling because last year also I appeared in the interview. मैं 3 marks से रह गया था, लेकिन इस बार fortunately I was in the list, and literally I cried, and I have checked that PDF at least 7 or 8 times, and I'm comparing it number by number that yes, it's actually mine. So yeah, it's a wonderful feeling. I've been getting a lot of congratulations from a lot of people. So yeah, it's wonderful.
So, guys, I just wanted to give you a brief introduction about Rishabh. That he is basically an engineer, and he has done BTech in mechanical engineering from Delhi Engineering College of Education. And first of all, I think the common question that will be to you, Rishabh, will be that how come RBI? Because a mechanical engineer, that too from Delhi College of Engineering, and then how come you approach? How come RBI come in front of you?
Well, I think on that question, सबसे ज़्यादा grilling हुई थी. But yes, to answer your question, RBI is a brand name in itself, and everybody knows about it. I always had my interest in finance, so some of my seniors also, cleared this exam, and that's how my interest, lied there. Plus, like I'm working in a corporate world, I believe that I can do much better in a financial world, specifically in the like areas like RBI, SEBI, and all. So that's how this approach, started, and I'm being very fortunate that I'm able to clear it.
Okay, that's really great. So, Rishabh, if I just talk to about the mechanical engineering, because there are a lot of subjects which I
Yeah,
can say that will be really difficult to attempt. If I
correct.
take an example, because you are a mechanical engineer, QRE, I can still say it can be easy for you because generally that there is that mindset and tendency that engineers have a very strong background in the quants and reasoning section. It's always a mindset that is there in the form of in the mind of a student. But what about the technical subjects like finance
Yeah.
and management? So what was your strategy when you have to go through these specific things like finance or management? What was your strategy towards that?
So first of all, I had to make a decision that I want to do this, and once you are done with it, then you will have to start, because otherwise you will leave it in between. So I started with finance because finance is extremely important to understand the current affair also. So that will help us in phase one also, basically. So I started with finance, and like I picked various topic from the syllabus. I started watching it from various YouTube channel, and various websites like Investopedia and an economy, etc. And that's how I got to learn these concepts. Plus, when you started learning these concepts, you get more and more interested towards it, because this is an area which everyone can understand, everyone can relate to. So that's how this whole journey started. And I would say, being a mechanical engineer, we have seen a lot. So finance and management also looking very similar to me. It's just that it was something new to upskill on, and that's how I took it. That I learned something new.
Okay, I think one more thing that I just wanted to have a viewpoint from you is because see, one thing is to have an understanding of finance to solve an objective question. Still you have some options that are there in front of you, but to write a descriptive answer in finance. So what was the thing that you kept on keeping in your mind that when you were preparing these two sections, because it's a general tendency, because the subjects that you have not read before the examination. So what was your strategy? What was the things that you were basically focusing on, that how you have managed these things?
So my strategy was suppose I am working on a particular finance topic, let's say Barcelona. Okay, so I will read that topic in detail, and then I will try to make 1 or 2 questions, and I will write that down. And then I will, ask my friends to basically validate them, to check them. So that was my strategy. But yes, because like last year when I gave the exam, I was not doing good in the descriptive portion only, and that's why I couldn't make it to the list. This year, I made sure that I practiced a lot of questions. So that I think made the difference this time. Okay, so most important thing is we should know the structure of the question, like introduction, body, and conclusion. Plus, we should have certain facts with us that can substantiate our answers. And at the same time, we should have a proper knowledge of the question also, like the static knowledge. So the thing is, when you are reading a topic, write some of the questions then in the room, and then you should revise it multiple times.
Okay,
That's the
so Rishabh, how many answers were you writing? Either you were, I think one thing here again that I just wanted to have a discussion from you is, okay, just say there is always a thing that finance is relevant both for phase 1 and phase 2. But when I talk about phase 1 of the examination, it's not that in the general awareness section, it's not like that ke bahut zyada, it's a finance heavy topic, it's a finance heavy examination. Okay, generally we say around 8 to 9 questions that are, we can say that are directly from the static part of finance. So what was your strategy on these kind of topics regarding the phase 1 and phase 2? So how, whether you were practicing descriptive till the phase 1 examination, or have you changed your strategy for that?
Yeah, so basically I started my like all these things with phase 2 only. Okay, because first, like, I was very confident about phase 1 that okay, I will be able to clear it due to the upper edge, upper hand in QRE. So I was preparing for phase 2 only from the starting. I started phase 1 right before, like, I think 2-3 months back the exam. Okay, so regarding so basically I was focusing, like, I will do the general awareness for phase 1 as well as phase 2 on a daily basis, and I will do its revision on a weekly or a monthly basis. So that was my strategy, and I did the current affair for 6 months. And I would like to say a point that when you are reading finance, okay, so I think it will help you to learn the current affairs in a better way, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of topics which you read basically when you are reading the syllabus of finance. So that will help you a lot. So I would say to everyone that please start, all the things with, like, first start with finance, and then you go to other topics like ESI and management.
I think this is a very important point that Rishabh has made, is because those of you guys who are preparing for the RBI Grade B examination of 2023, this is a very important point that you should keep on mind, is that these kind of topics like descriptive answer writing or the finance static, or I can say ESI static, these are the topics that you should start on a priority basis, because this is the time where you can start these topics, because ek to aapka mind thoda sa free hota hai. It's not that you have to cram something. And I think it's best the Rishabh is also understanding the same, saying the same thing, that start practicing, start writing the answers, because at the end, guys, you have to write the descriptive answer, and I think practice is a key thing here. Now, Rishabh, if I ask you about the recent examination pattern, because if I talk about this year's examination or even about the previous year paper, there is one myth in the mind of, there is one tendency in the mind of a student, is that now the RB examination is really, really difficult to crack, especially the phase 1 examination. Because if you can see the recent examination, or if I can talk about the previous year examination, earlier students have a tendency that GA is a quite scoring marks, but now due to time crunch, you have to give an equal weightage to the other sections also. So what was your plan? Because when you were preparing for the examination, what was your plan of strategy for the phase 1 examination?
Correct. So if you look at the numbers, okay, let's look at the facts. The cutoff was around, I think, 65 or I think 63, right? And there were 80 questions on the general awareness itself. So if you are doing 6 months of general awareness, you can easily score more than 40 marks. Let's say you are scoring 40 marks only. Now you have to score only 25 marks to clear the cutoff for the general category. Now that 25, if you are good in English, you can get from there itself. So in Quant and the other subject, you just only need to clear the cutoff. So that was my strategy. I literally prepared mostly for the general awareness. I was very much confident in English, and for the Quant and reasoning, I focused on the easy topics, with which I will be able to clear the cutoff. For example, if you look at reasoning, like, I was very bad at puzzles. मुझसे नहीं होता था वो solve, correct? Now, मैंने किस topics पे focus किया? I focused on blood relation. I focused on syllogism. I focused on inequality. I focused on direction. अगर आप इन 4 टॉपिक्स की क्वेश्चन करते हो, you will be able to get at least maybe 12 to 15 marks. And when you are doing that with 100% accuracy, you should not worry about the sectional pattern. So I would say focus should still be on the general awareness. And yes, you said that there is a time crunch, like RBI is giving very long question, lengthy question, but that is something you will get from from practice. And I think for that we have people like you. And I saw a lot of YouTube videos, in which you were there. You gave all the marathon sessions, etc. So they were very helpful. So I think I would suggest everyone to stick to one source, and after that, do the marathon sessions from EduTap and even from other YouTube channels also. So that will help you to revise things.
So
So
first
that
of
was
all,
my
thanks
strategy.
for your appreciating
Yeah.
word, Rishabh. But I think this is something that the students must learn is, guys, because I think this is somewhere students are lacking, especially if I look at the recent pattern that has been changed in the RBI examination, because the students have a tendency that if the GA is of 25 minutes, we should start focusing on QRE. And I think this is the best example that is sitting in front of us. I just started the lecture when I just started the discussion when I said that his QRE will be strong, and he has agreed to it. That said, yes, generally the engineers who have the QRE, that is their strong point. But a very important point that he has mentioned here is, guys, you have to analyze your strong points. It's not always that it is just whether it is always difficult. हो सकता है कोई point strong आपका बहुत ज़्यादा strong point हो और कोई चीज आपकी weak हो. As he is saying कि English is scoring, we are seeing in the examination English थोड़ा सा scoring है, ठीक है, और reasoning and math, if I talk about reasoning and quant, if I talk about, yes, they are difficult in nature, but the strategy that he is saying, that is the thing that you should all keep on working, is because most of the time क्या होता है, ठीक है, we generally end up not clearing this QRE section also. I think I have talked to the students also who are not able to clear the cutoff for quant and reasoning especially. The reason for that is because you kind of stuck to one question and you could not solve the question. वहां पे आपका confidence भी low हो जाता है and you could not solve the question. I think that's the one thing here. For that, I think he has given a very great suggestion to all of you who are preparing for the next year is that, guys, you have to pick up some topics which are your favorite, in which you can score maximum marks. I think, Rishabh, what is your strategy for, because quant is also becoming difficult.
Yes,
it's not
yes.
only reasoning, quant is also becoming difficult. So what was your strategy in the examination? Because you said for reasoning, I know okay, I'm not good in puzzles, so I skipped the puzzles and I tried to focus on the other topics.
Yes.
Now, what was your strategy for quant also?
Almost similar to what I said for reasoning, because see, there are some very easy topics, and there are some very basically difficult topic. For example, if you look at the time and work, I find that a little easy, but some people will find it difficult. And also, first of all, we should focus on question like quadratic equation, number series, because those are more scoring area. So even if that question is coming at suppose at 25th number, or how many questions were there? Sorry,
30.
I think 30, right? Yeah. So suppose it is coming at the end, just skip it blindly. That's perfectly fine. If you are able to give last 5 answers correctly, you will get a lot of confidence, and then you can spend the remaining time on others. So always pick the easy topic. But yes, in quant, I would say you need to focus more on your basics, because even if you are working time and work, or if you are working on profit and loss, you must have a basic knowledge of ratios. You must have a basic knowledge of a percentage, average, etc. Because now what RBI is doing is they are making the questions more and more lengthy. They are they are giving ratios, they are giving percentage, they are giving average in an application based question like profit and loss. So you have to be thorough with your basics. So I would say I know that quant has been a little bit on the difficult side, but first focus on your basics. Maybe you can start doing for the let's say SBI clerk or SBI PO level. And once you are okay with that, then start with a little higher level question. Maybe pick it from quant book, or maybe pick it from various mocks. And also you can do the previous year questions. So that's how you should approach it. First, do the basics. When you are sure, then go to the higher level question. And in that also, pick the easy topic first in the exam, and don't stuck to a question. If you see that okay, you are stuck in there for let's say 1.5 minutes, leave it now. That's it. I mean, that question is not going to help us to get through the examination. other questions might. So yeah.
I think again a very great point, guys. वही point जो है वो इनका बहुत important point that he is making for all the aspirants here is that guys, it is fine if it is your strong point also, but if you are not able to get the answer right at that point of time, it's better to skip the question. Don't get emotional at that point of time. And I think one point that he has just described here is general awareness. It is, I think somehow this is now has become a very hot point in the RBI examination, because as so but because now the time duration is 25 minutes and you have to go through the 80 questions, and these are quite lengthy in nature. Okay, so what was your strategy? First of all, to tell me, Rishabh, honestly, were you able to see all the 80 questions in 25 minutes? Because I think this is one thing that the students are generally saying, 80 questions हम लोग देख ही नहीं पाएंगे 25 minutes में.
I was able to see all the questions. In fact, I was able to revisit some of the questions that I couldn't do it. The thing is, when you are reading a question, focus on keywords. You don't have to see like which of the following, all these things. Just look at the keyword. If they are saying, let's say, maybe some finance term, directly look at that. For example, it is LEI, legal entity identifier. Just look at that term, see the keyword, whether they are asking a negative answer or a positive answer, and then, just see the options. And sometimes it might be wrong. That's fine. Even if you are not able to solve that one question, you're not going to, it won't be that much of a problem. If let's say you are doing 70 questions in that way, and you are able to fix, let's say 40 or 45 from them, that will be enough for you. So the thing is, focus on keywords, and that's it. And then you will be able to, go through all the questions in the given time. Like I had time, literally I'm saying, when I was doing that in 22 minutes, I was able to answer everything. And I was able to recheck some of my questions because of this strategy.
I think this is again a point that those of you who are, I think, feeling fear from the general awareness section, okay, 25 minutes we could not see the 80 questions. We have an example in front of us, because still, I think one point that he's making is general awareness section is still, I think, is a key, is a make or break for your phase 1 cutoff. Because this year, we can say the examination is little bit on a tougher side, because we can see there was a question on DICGC, that was a statement-based question. There was a question on Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. Then there were some quite easy questions also, which was like Khelo India Games that we were expecting. Okay, then there was questions on the space missions that was there. So what was your strategy? How much, as you are saying, you have prepared the current affairs for the past 6 months, whether you were thoroughly reviewing only on the past 6 months, or you have made a strategy just before the examination that these are the months that I should first of all revise on priority, or were you reviewing all the 6 months?
So I did it for the whole 6 months. I didn't want to take the risk at all. And I would advise everyone to not do that. Do it for the whole 6 months, because even if you are able to, solve 2 or 3 questions, it can make a difference. So make sure you are doing it for the whole 6 months. And yes, the most important thing is the revision. And for that, I think EduTap is there. So they will keep doing the marathon sessions. So just attend them, download the PDF, keep revising them, and you will be able to answer almost everything.
Okay. So I think now one thing I can ask from Rishabh is कितने marks आपको लग रहा है? We were saying that there are many of questions that were there from the marathon sessions. So do you agree? Because I think बाकी students मेरे को बोलेंगे कि नहीं sir, आप तो अपने तरफ से बोल रहे हो. But I think he should be the right person. That how was the marathon helpful for you?
Definitely, because marathon say, I would say at least maybe 65 to 70 at least, maybe more, because I'm not sure, it was long back. But I can say that 65 to 70. In fact, I think I scored around 45. Which was still very less. Like I could have done much more, if I would have gone through your sessions maybe once or twice more. So I would suggest to keep doing that for everyone. So basically, revision is the key here. And yes, marathon sessions will help you to revise a lot, and you will see a lot of questions from them.
And that's
thank you so much, sir, for that.
And I personally myself is really grateful to you for that, because I
Yeah.
think the efforts that we have put on, and when we heard these kind of words, this makes me day. I can say this makes my Diwali, okay? Because the effort that we have put on, and if it is really helping the candidates like you, it is really a blessing for all of us. Now, I think if I move to the phase two examination, because we have talked about the
Mhm.
phase one, you have discussed about quant, reasoning, English, and phase two, we have discussed about the finance descriptive. But I
Yeah.
think, Rishabh, what will be your point on the objective paper? Because
Mhm.
students now, when the examination pattern has changed in the previous year examination, what the students keep on doing is this keep on working. Now they always have a tendency that descriptive is the key thing. So what will be your opinion? Whether it's what will be the kitni weightage objective key to clear the examination phase two, especially the phase two examination?
I think we should just look at the numbers. It's literally 50%. So when you have 200 marks for finance and management and ESI, 100 marks is for objective only. So if you are keeping that aside, you won't be able to clear it. Very direct I'm saying. Objective is still the key because see, in descriptive, you might be able to write something. In objective, you can't do anything. If you don't know, you don't know. In descriptive, you will still, you can still hope that the examiner might not, read some of your words that you have written. But in objective, there is only one answer. So you have to do that. And I would say in objective, finance is still a little bit easy, but ESI is the most important one. And one more thing, sir, I want to say here, a lot of people, what they do is they will read the newspaper daily. They will go through the PIB website daily. They will go through the RBI website daily. Let me tell you, it is not needed at all. There are a lot of coachings who are providing you these compilation for free. EduTap is also doing that. Others are also doing that. Follow one source and you can trust them. I used to do that. Okay, I never went to PIB. I don't know how it looks. And the RBI, basically the RBI website for the circulars and all, I went only in the interview phase. I did not went to RBI website in the phase two. So don't do that. Try to read less content, but the effective content. So that is the key for the objective part. And don't miss objective at any cost. It is one of the most important part in your phase two preparation.
And what will
Don't
be your
skip that.
strategy? Because if you look at the objective paper, I think it was a
Hmm.
scheme dominated paper.
Yeah, yeah.
It
So
was a
that,
scheme dominated paper, no one can deny. But there is a surprise that NABARD has put on. There was a
yeah,
question on Raisina dialogue in the phase two examination, which
yeah.
the many of us were not expecting that thing. Then there
Hmm.
was a question on India-Australia Economic Cooperation Agreement, which
Yeah.
is again a paragraph-based question. And then there was a question on human capital index, a
Hmm,
report
hmm,
that
hmm.
was released 2 years before the examination. So how you have tackled these kind of questions? Because I can see there are students के बहुत मुश्किल पेपर आ गया है, पता नहीं RBI ने क्या डाल दिया है. So but how you have handled these kind of questions in the examination?
So I handled them by skipping them because these are bouncers. And see, this is an examination where all of the people are like you. Some of them may be a little bit higher or lower, but all of us are, like at the same stage. So I can bet that hardly few people, maybe 5 or 10 people, would have done those questions correctly. And it is a relative examination. It's not like RBI has given like a minimum cutoff for everyone to clear. So if there is a bouncer, it is a bouncer for everyone. And if you ask me that, okay, like a report from 2 years back has come to the examination and now should you start doing that? A big no. Don't do that because see, we have a limited mind. We will be able to consume limited content only, and it will be a bouncer for everyone. That I can assure you. So therefore, the only thing is that yes, there are questions like India-Australia economic dialogue, Resina dialogue. So maybe yes, we can change our strategy a little bit there. We might go into some of the topics which we felt were not important. Now we can consider those also. But yes, as far as the time period is concerned, I would stay still, I think 6 to 8 months, or maybe I think Sir will be able to tell you better, maybe 1 year. But that's it, not more than that, because you won't be able to do that. I mean, you will forget other things also.
I think
So
again, it's a
yeah,
very great point that he has made for all the aspirants, guys. That see, this is a very important thing, because the thing that he is pointing out here is if there is a question which you are feeling, it's that if you have thoroughly prepared and if you are not able to attempt this question, you have to be so much sure yourself also. आपको भी इतना sure होना पड़ेगा कि अगर मैंने नहीं पढ़ा तो ये बाकियों ने भी नहीं पढ़ा होगा. I think this is a strategy that is a very helpful strategy that Rishabh is saying to us, is that this is a point that you should keep in mind. Okay, because he has, see, this is a great thing that he has elaborated. He has said that what should be your strategy for descriptive, as he's saying that when you're starting preparing, start with the descriptive answer writing for ESI and finance static. Then at the time of the examination, you should start with the current affairs because they are playing a very prominent role. And he has made a point that yes, if you are preparing them thoroughly within 25 minutes, you can see these 80 questions and you can solve majority of questions there also. Okay. Now, Rishabh, coming to a very important thing, because phase one, phase two, and after that, the main important thing is interview.
Yeah.
So, how was your strategy? Because when you cleared the phase two examination, so how was your approach towards the interview?
Yeah. So the first thing is I started with the newspaper. So I was reading Mint daily for around 2 to 3 months, because in interview they are going to ask you a lot of opinionated question, and your opinion can be built only when you are reading articles from from some eminent people, not by just reading the static knowledge and all. So that is the most important. And other than that, the next important thing is the biodata. Whatever you are writing in the biodata, you must be very thorough with it. Be it your graduation, be it your work experience. If you do not have a work experience, make sure you have an answer prepared that why there is a gap. If there is a gap, what you were doing, what have you learned in that time. And just one more thing which I want to say from my experience. If you are going into RBI interview, right, and it's your maybe first attempt or second attempt, try to go with some kind of a financial diploma or certificate. If you can spend maybe like 30 minutes each day to learn that, it will be very helpful. Because in my interview I was mostly grilled on this thing, that you do not have anything on your CV related to finance, why should we hire you? And last year also I think that I mean I was able to get 48 marks, which was still, I would say, average but not that good. So this year also, I'm not sure how much marks I would have gotten, but yes, this was something which would have, kept me out of the list. So I would say that don't do that mistake which I did. Make sure that you have some kind of a financial education. Maybe do a diploma, do a course from Udemy, Coursera, anything. And yeah, that was my strategy. I was very thorough with my biodata. So yeah, that has helped.
So, Rishabh, have you given some mock interviews also before going to
Yes,
the main
yes, yes.
interview?
Yeah, I actually forgot that point. I gave around 3 mock interviews, and I gave an interview from EduTap also, and it was really good. It was very helpful. I was able to pick some of my mistake, and I was able to work on that, because I think there was still a lot of time between the EduTap interview and my actual interview, around I think 20 days. So that was really very helpful. Yeah.
Okay.
And I would suggest everyone to give mocks definitely, and not just to coaching institute, but also you can give mocks to your friends and your family if they are like good with that. So because you need to you need to very good with your communication skills, because ultimately your confidence matters a lot. Even if you don't know an answer, but the next question, if you are answering with full confidence, it will help you.
And how was your panel, interview panel? Because I
So
think
yeah,
one thing जो एक डर हो जाता है, there is a fear in the mind of a student when he's going for interview that interview panel will be very, very harsh. So how
no.
was your interview panel?
So my interview panel was very nice. They were very cordial. They asked me like, "How are you doing? Are you comfortable or not?" Then they started asking questions. They were asking it in a very low tone, so that I do not feel very like nervous or something. And yes, there was some drilling, which is expected, because sometimes that is also an evaluation criteria. That okay, whether you are able to, whether you are able to handle that drilling or not, whether it is making you lose the confidence. So that is again the key. But again, they were very cordial about it. They were not. They will not insult you at all. So it will be very it will be very good. And there were a lot of people who were asking, like some personal question also, so that you can feel a little bit more comfortable. So yeah, it was very good. I mean, it was a great experience.
So as you're talking about grilling, so this brings me to the next question that I want to ask
Yeah,
you: whether saying no in the interview is a good thing, because then this is again a tendency that if you are not able to answer the thing, whether we should say no or not.
yeah, you should not say anything stupid in front of them. You should say no. For example, they asked me some questions which I did not know. I say, sir, I'm not aware. But you should be confident enough to give the next answers, like with the full confidence. Because, for example, suppose if I'm giving, if I'm not able to give an answer, I said no. It doesn't mean that my interview has gone bad. So next question, maybe I will be able to impress them with that. So the confidence is the key. Even if you are saying no to like maybe 4 or 5 questions in a row, it is still okay. Not a problem.
So, okay, Rishabh, now let's take some questions because that was all my questions. And let's take some questions that are there in the chat box. I think
Sure.
one common question that is asked that many of students are asking is,
Mhm.
sir, how many months of current affairs and what were your sources for the current affairs?
Yeah, so 6 months of current affairs regarding sources. You can pick any source. If you are an EduTap enrolled student, pick there. If you are any other coaching institute, pick theirs. Just stick to one source and do the quizzes from multiple areas, because quizzes will help you to revise things. So that was my strategy. I was picking one source, but I was revising from multiple areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harshita Singh, sir, what was your GS score? I think he has earlier mentioned his GS score that that is around 45 in the
Yeah,
phase one
I don't
examination.
remember exactly, but yeah, I think
Okay.
it was that.
Okay. Any other thing, guys, you want from Rishabh? Because guys, I think this is a right time. एक interview, एक topper आपके सामने बैठे हैं. Anything you want to ask? And Priya is asking, sir, how to prepare for descriptive portion.
Okay, so for descriptive portion, first of all, one of the most important thing is facts. When you are doing the current affairs, try to link it with multiple topics so that you can write those down. For example, if you're writing a question on financial inclusion, try to include the examples of new things which are happening. For example, e-rupee, central bank, like CBDC, etc. Right? Try to include that. So facts are utmost important in your questions. Secondly, you should have a proper structure in your answer, like introduction, body, and conclusion. In body, you can give multiple points. So when you are giving answer in points, it will look more beautiful to the to the examiner. So they will be able to read it more easily. And when you are writing in a paragraph, it will be difficult to read. So these are, I think, some of the points I can say. And yes, as far as the content is concerned, whenever you are reading a new topic, go through that topic again and try to write 2 or 3 questions. But yes, don't do that for every topic, because some of the topics might not be very important from from a descriptive point of view. Okay, so do that, like pick up the important topics, write the questions, and get it reviewed by someone, and keep doing the mocks and everything. That's the strategy for descriptive.
There is a student by the name of Banking Guide. He's saying, sir, what are the sources for ESI? What are?
Yes, sir.
Can you share your book list also with us?
I did not go through any kind of books, to be very honest. I did not go through PIB website also. I was following these YouTube channels only, be it EduTap or any other channel. Okay, so there are a lot of PIB sessions which goes on. I was like, I used to download their PDF, and I will keep revising them monthly or weekly. That was my strategy. So I did not do it from books. Yeah.
Nikhil is asking, sir, should we strictly follow the syllabus of these, that is ESI or finance, or we can prepare topic by topic also, or we can somehow select some topics?
Strictly follow the syllabus, because see, we are doing an examination in which 5 lakhs people are appearing, and they all are very smart now. So you should stick to the syllabus. You should, and also like before even started preparing, go through the previous year paper ones, so that you will know what kind of questions are actually asked. So that when you read some new topic, you will be able to pick some of the questions yourself. So that is the key. But yeah, stick to the syllabus.
So I think, guys, that's all the questions that you guys have asked. Rishabh have answered. Harshita Singh, what about FM? I think Harshita, in the starting, Rishabh has given us a brief about his FM strategy, that from mechanical engineering he shifted towards the finance and hours. And I think one question that is here is that is Sachin is asking is, sir, how to manage typing speed? Because this is again a very important question, because you have to type the descriptive answer.
Yeah.
So what was your strategy on the typing side? That were you typing on a keyboard on a daily way, or what was like that?
So actually, I'm working in the corporate sector in the IT world. So I'm always working on laptop only. So that was not a problem with me. But I would say that whenever you are, practicing your descriptive question, do it on a laptop or a computer. Don't do it on a piece of paper. that will help you to increase the speed. Because see, these kind of things will come with consistency. You will have to keep preparing, you will have to keep practicing, and that's the key. There is no rocket science here.
Okay. So Rishabh, one thing the students are asking is, sir, because you are a working aspirant also, you are working. So how were you basically dividing your time for the preparation and for your work?
Correct.
And as you are working in corporate world, I can manage that. I can see that there also it will be taking a lot of time of yours also on the daily.
It was very hectic. So the key is that like I used to wake up around 5:45 or 6 a.m. And then from 6:30, I will start, all the study, and I will do it for like next 2 to 3 hours on a daily basis. Plus, the good thing was I was working from home, so I had that kind of, basically privilege, or you can say advantage with me. So that helped me. And also then Saturday, Sunday on weekends, I used to spend like 5, 6 hours. But yes, I would say like I was not like on every weekend I used to go out also. So like don't like completely indulge yourself in study. Give yourself some time because it will help you to refresh your mind and do a new start from the from next Monday. So that was my strategy, sir. I used to wake up very early and I used to sleep on time around 10:30 so that I can wake up early in the morning.
Okay. I think one question that is coming again on our YouTube channel is, sir, what about the word limit? Because this is again a word limit.
Word limit is again not an issue because, for example, I think in 600 word question, I was able to write around 450 or 500, but the content was very good. I mean, at least from my perspective. So yeah, so that is the key. So that's not a problem. Try to write at least 80% of the word limit. Like if you have 600, write it 450 to 480. If you have 400, maybe make it to 320, 350. That's it.
And this is again a great point that he has made is, guys, because see, it's not about word limit. It's not you have, if it's a word limit of 600 words, you have to write all 600 words. The best thing is you work on your content. Okay, as Narveer sir always talk when students who are preparing for English, he always says, work on the content, okay, ji, and do not think that I have to write 600 words. If you can write a very good descriptive answer or a very good essay in 400 to 450 words, it will also be really, really helpful. I think this is all from the students. So guys, again, Rishabh, thank you for giving us your precious time. Okay. Now from my side and from the entire, I wish you a very happy Diwali also, because now I can say that Diwali has brought out a very great gift for you. Okay, in your life, that the Diwali gift that has been given by the RBI to you. Okay. So what will be your message to those students who might not have cleared this year's examination, and because you were also one of them who could not clear the examination in the previous year, and what would be your strategy for those aspirants who are just starting for this examination and will be giving this examination for the first time?
So first of all, the common message is don't lose hope, because like मैंने बिल्कुल preparation अपनी छोड़ दी थी almost, but then still I was able to, like, I was encouraged by a lot of people. Then I did it and see now I've cleared it. So don't lose hope at all. And if you have already if you already had a failed attempt, that is good for you because now you won't be repeating those mistakes and it will helps you to progress. That's one thing. And the people who are starting from the scratch, I would say stick to the syllabus, stick to the basics. Don't consume too much extra content. It will not make you the governor. It will not help you in any way. Try to limit your content. Try to look at the overall scheme of the exam. Just look at what are the previous year questions that have been asked, and then prepare accordingly. Okay, try to find out your strength, your weakness, work on them. And if you have any question, you can always reach out to me. There's EduTap team we have, so they will also help you. So yeah, just that's my advice and message to everyone.
So again, thank you, Rishabh, for giving us your precious time. Wishing you a happy Diwali. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. And I wish you happy Diwali.
Thank you. And I think the students who are on the YouTube, I think they have also learned a lot. And I think one thing I am really, I think one thing he has openly talked about all the points to the aspirants. ठीक है, जैसे बड़ा भाई गाइड करता है अपने छोटे भाई को, तो इन्होंने इसी तरह आपको गाइड किया है थ्रू ऑल दिस इंटरव्यू. ठीक है जी. सो अगेन गाइस, Okay, wishing you all the best. And thank you, Rishabh. Thank you for
Thank you so much,
your
sir.
precious time.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone.